Hello everyone, this is Benjamin Ramirez. I'm going over a game that I had with a friend. He wanted me to record it before we started playing. He wanted me to record it, and I couldn't at the time because I was busy. I was with around people, so obviously I can't make a video. You don't want a whole bunch of talking in the background. Um, I know I wouldn't. This is how it started off. I don't know the French at all, but I decided to just simply develop. And when I seen this move, I thought it might have been a mistake. The engine said it was, like a minor one. It doesn't really cover the center, so I kind of figured it was, but I had no idea how to take advantage of something like that. But apparently I did well the next couple of moves, we both did. So there was no actual taking advantage of it. I just had to increase my space and pieces, I guess. Before I didn't understand that. I'm like, if something's wrong, I should win a piece or something, which that's not really always the case. It just depends on what kind of move it is. So this is a French defense knight variation. And I moved here. I figured just to develop my pieces. I considered going to c5, but I was worried about him going to d5 and then me capture and him capture and my bishop moving again, so I figured not to do that. I did think about going to b5 instead of c4. I also considered b5, trying to, trap up the knight and move my pawn up, but I didn't think that would really work too well because he moved his bishop over, but I just figured, to go there, very safe development. So, and they thought it was fine. He moved. I went to e5. Now, after I went to e5, I thought to myself, I should have went bishop to g5 maybe, and then tried it, because that would have gotten a free knight, but he most likely would have moved his bishop to e7, but it isn't, nothing wrong with trying tactics out, but I just didn't do it. So I went here, and then I thought to myself afterward what I should have tried. He captures, I capture here. And obviously he moves his knight. So we're pretty much evenly developed. He's a little more cramped, but it's not a big deal. I castled here. I figured I'd just get that out the way. And after he moves his bishop, I decided that's when I seen the pawn structure part. I figured he's gonna castle right now, and how can I disrupt his castle? And normally when my opponent's about to castle or close to castling, I try to think if I can find a way how to do it, unless I already developed my pieces to do it. I wasn't developing it to mess it up, because like I said, I'm not used to the opening, and we don't have a 5-minute game, so I didn't have much time to think into it. But a lot of the openings that I do play, I do attempt to try to ruin the castle if I can. And he moved his pawn up like I expected. I captured. He captured. I expected him to capture with his pawn, but he captured with his knight instead. And then rook over. I figured if his knight is kind of pinned right now, he has a pawn right there that's by itself. I can attack the pawn. His bishop's defending it, but it kind of prevents him from trying to pull out the b pawn and fianchetto his bishop, or anything like that. So I figured I'd try to put a little pressure on it and maybe attack it more later on if I can with my other bishop. That's what I was kind of thinking, and that's why I did that. He ends up castling because I don't have any immediate threats towards his pawn. I decide if I can't make a threat immediate, I'm just gonna go ahead. I could have went to bishop to c4, but I didn't see it. And I figured just to develop. I figured that would be safe for me. Now, obviously, he's defending the pawn more, so I figured I just, I kind of abandoned the idea of it, and I decided to go after his knight. I knew he couldn't capture. When I initially put my knight there, it wasn't to put my knight here to capture it, you know what I'm saying, because the whole queen thing. I did it just to develop, and I wasn't sure what to do, and it turned out pretty fine. And that's why I normally don't play fast games, because I I kind of had to play instinctively. So up, and I just decided to capture. I knew he couldn't capture with the queen, obviously, because of my knight, and he captured this way. He obviously couldn't capture with his rook either. So I feel like I have a safer, obviously I have a safer king than him, and I figured I can attack more. According to my app, I have a Stockfish app that I look at once in a while. It said that knight to c5 was best here. I wasn't sure what to do. I went over here. I was hoping to bring my queen in the game and help attack. So that's why I moved my knight. My Stockfish app believes that was premature and that I should have simply captured his bishop. So he moves down one, obviously attacking both of my knights. So I can't really do anything to specifically I can't play a trick to gain a free piece here. So I simply capture, and as expected, he captures. And finally got my pawn that I was thinking about in the beginning. I kind of gave up on the idea of it, but it kind of went together that way, since if I captured the bishop and the queen captures one of the knights, then obviously I had something going on with that. If he captured the other way around, if he captured my c knight with his queen, I would have just moved my queen to h5 and had more attack. So I kind of just figured he would be able to do that and I'd get the pawn. So I knew I had to capture something because I was losing one of my knights in that situation. So he moves over and I blunder here. I went bishop to c4. I was focused primarily on the knight and on moving the knight and trying to pin the rook. I wasn't preparing to do it. I just decided to go right ahead. I could have probably played b3 first. Now, one of the things that I've done that higher my ranking up a lot was focus primarily on not having loose pieces or hanging pieces. This is considered a hanging piece. A hanging piece is an undefended piece. I normally try to develop while my pieces are defended, and in this situation I just simply didn't do it. Like I said, with time control it's kind of harder to do, but once you do that, most of your blunders will be gone as hanging pieces. Like when you're first starting off or when your ranking is kind of low, that's basically it. I did it here. That's why I like classical games very much. I can actually focus more on the pieces. I've actually played a few perfect games, not many, but a few on classical. So he moves his king out. I already knew to prevent the pin, because if I move my knight, I get his rook. He could have taken my bishop, and we both missed it. So I decided I was gonna call a check and take his rook. Queen takes, and bishop takes. Pawn down one. I didn't really see an attack for him, so I moved my rook here. When he went here, I did not realize that he would even be able to threaten checkmate and my rook at the same time. I was a little surprised when I seen that move, and I feared to call a check. Here I was thinking that he might move his bishop to f5, is what I thought he would do, and then I'm like, if he goes a bishop f5, then I can go bishop g8 check. I figured I was trying to do something with stopping his checkmate while attacking, so it wouldn't weaken my structure. That's what I was hoping for. And he just moves his king over. Here my engine says queen to h3 is the best move, according to my engine, and I didn't play it. Basically, queen h3, rook takes e8, bishop takes, queen to h3 check. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, it's not queen to h3 check. I'm sorry. Queen to h3 is just basically capturing the piece. I'm sorry. I don't know why I kept saying check on there. I was really confused. I kept looking at the board and I'm like, why is it check? Why is it check? All right, queen to h3, rook takes e8, bishop takes e8. That's basically what the engine said was best for me, and I didn't see it. So I just defended the check, and that was another bad move for me. The game said I only had one blunder, but I think that's probably counts as a blunder too. He takes, I take. I would have had an extra bishop if that would have happened the other way. He moves down. And also the engine, the chess engine did not show that as a good move or a possibility. It just didn't. So queen to c3 check, king to f8, and I feared a called check again. I knew that I can somehow, how do I put it? Or king to d7. Alright, he took, I took. Yeah. At this point, I had more pieces, and I figured I can keep trying to, not more pieces, but more value of material. And I figured I can try to trade off and keep calling check. And he took, I took, he moved up. I tried out blocking his bishop a little bit while wanting to bring my king up was my idea. He moved down, I brought my king up. He moved down, I brought my king up. He moved down. I went here and called check, and then he resigned. Now, me personally, let me go over here. Me personally, I would have, I thought he was gonna go here, me go to f5, and then him basically continue with this move or this move. Because I can't move up because of the bishop. He will simply take my rook. So I figured in this position here, yeah, I thought it might be kind of drawish. It's either a win or a draw for me because a bishop versus rook endgame can be very drawish. And with his 3 pawns versus my 3 pawns, and on top of that, if I attempted even to do anything over here and he moved, he could have a safe space for his king to basically help out, So if I try something at all, he probably would have a safe space for his king, So if he captured, I capture, he would, what I'm saying? So I wasn't 100% sure how it would work out because I didn't really look at it or calculate it. But I thought this position here might be very drawish. This right here as well. This will move over here basically be to help his king go around the corner to come in with the pawns. And this move here would prevent me from moving my pawn up at some point. Like if I decide to go here, for example, and he, moved the bishop, I wouldn't be able to do that because of the king. So I figured it just depended on what he wanted to do. But that was a pretty good game. Now if I go over this here, it basically says we both had one blunder. So that's basically what it says. I want to see this one versus my app real quick. That was a blunder. Yeah, it doesn't even talk about Does it? Oh, it does say it's best here. It does have it down. I went over it and I didn't see that. But, alright. It says inaccuracy. I think that was a complete blunder because that's a full piece right there. That's a full piece. He ended up taking my rook after I went to g3. And I took back. If I would have taken this and he would have taken my rook and I would have taken it back, I would have been up a full piece. So, but they consider it inaccuracy. So, no, that was a pretty good game. But me and him both missed the serious blunder. And, yeah, alright. Well, it was a good game. Next time I'll try to record it while I'm playing it because I like it better that way because I feel like I'll overthink it afterward and I try to look into details that I normally wouldn't during a game. During the game, I usually do more general spacious thinking and more patterns. Afterward, I try to look into more calculations, and so it's a little different going over after the game. But it was a pretty good game. I liked it. It was actually for him. It was a very good game for him for his rating. Rating is 13 something. Yeah, 1356. So almost 400 point different, and that was very good. All right, well, I'll let you guys go. Just if you want to see all my videos, like, subscribe. I'm making videos for myself for the most part. A lot of these for my games are specifically for myself. After 3, 4, 5 years, I can see how I progressed my thinking, what I was learning, what I was thinking about. So that way, if I do become master and start teaching people, I'll get to review my own stuff if someone is the level I am to see how I can help them progress. So that's the main reason why. It's for myself and for that. Because that is my goal after about 5-10 years from now. So, all right, like and subscribe. Definitely be more videos. Definitely.